Flight tanks configured for flight.
15. 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Grace Follow-On, continuing the legacy of the Grace mission of tracking the movement of water across our planet.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Stage 1 props nominal. Nominal. GC copies, we'll go. GC copies, we'll go.
All right, we have a liftoff, Frankie.
And Sam.
Power and telemetry nominal.
It's a beautiful launch. Falcon 9 is going up. We're going to have the first step is max Q coming up in about 10 seconds. That's the point of maximum stress,
Falcon 9 is
mechanical stress on the launch vehicle. As it's going the atmosphere out here.
Vehicles experience maximum dynamic pressure.
So we just went through max Q. Everything's looking good. The next stage is the main engine cutoff. And main engine cutoff is in about 50 seconds. Main engine cutoff is the point where the first stage of the rocket will stop ignition, of course, and be deployed. You can see an image now from the rocket image, actually. The main engine cutoff will be in 15 seconds.
Eco.
We have main
Stage
engine cutoff,
separation confirmed.
and stage separation has been confirmed. So the first stage was deployed. You can see an image from the second stage.
Impact ignition.
Stage 1 AFTS has saved.
So everything is nominal.
Fairing
See the
separation.
fairing separation successfully. And you can see the Grace Follow-On and the Iridium spacecraft in the picture there.
Stage 2 is following a nominal trajectory.
So everything is going nominal. It's an image of the second stage. So the second engine will burn for approximately 8 minutes. That will get the second stage and both the Iridium and Grace Follow-On stack up to the point where Grace Follow-On will be separated from that stack, and then the launch vehicle, the second stage, will continue on and deploy the Iridium satellites after another burn, actually.
All right. So we have 8 minutes until the second engine cutoff.
Correct.
So we're going to take some time to introduce folks to some of the members of the team. While we wait for the end of the engine burn, we thought we would be able to introduce you to some of the project managers, Phil Morton of JPL and German research project manager Frank Fleckner. They're both in the SpaceX control room at Vandenberg right now. They're monitoring this launch, but we did talk to them earlier about their roles and the stories they tell us about the relationship between the two teams. They tell us is a partnership that goes way back.
The data is available and needs to continue to be available, and how do you use it in a way that helps or benefits where you live specifically, because you can really track right to where you live what the future might be like. There are tools now to monitor and estimate what the future might be like given the trends that we see. I have the responsibility for the mission with NASA. That's sort of the way a project manager role is defined. So my responsibility is that the mission comes together and operates successfully. I have a counterpart, Dr. Frank Fleckner, who's at GFZ in Germany.
I was already the co-PI of the GRACE mission, and I became the GFZ project manager for all the German contributions to the mission.
He's a pleasure to work with. He's very knowledgeable on the science data from GRACE. We talk weekly, if not more. It's a pleasure to work with somebody that you can have a straight conversation with.
I know Phil already from the GRACE project from 98, 99. Say 6 years ago when we started to implement GRACE Follow-On, I was very happy to see Phil again to be the GPL GRACE Follow-On project manager, because I know him so long and it's easy to talk with him, and it's a really good friendship over the years.
We've taken the best of their expertise, combined it with the best of ours. You put these groups of people together, you want to make sure that we're all heading down the same path, heading towards the same goals. Everybody's working so closely together. We are seamless between the teams. It really has worked out well.
We are one GRACE family. We know each other since 1998, that's 20 years. Yeah. And so we all get older during the GRACE lifetime, and it's a great opportunity to run into a GRACE Follow-On mission with many of these old friends.
So as we're standing by for the end of the second engine burn, the other things that we're focusing on is what happens after the second engine burn is done. What happens after that?
So the first thing that happens is that the GRACE follow-on satellites are separated. They're released from the multi-satellite dispenser.
And we have some video that we can actually show to
Sure.
illustrate what we're talking about.
So as you see here, this animation shows the GRACE follow-on 2 satellites being separated. The first thing we want to do is make communication and make sure that we have contact with the spacecraft. So they will release this S-band antenna that allows us to have communication. But the spacecraft at this stage are a little wobbly, I would say, so they would have to adjust. The internal propulsion system will make adjustments, because we want the spacecraft to come in a what we call a safe mode, which points the solar arrays up to the sun and the antenna towards Earth. And that will take a few minutes, and then the first pass is going to be over McMurdo station in Antarctica.
So that is the first opportunity that we have communication with the satellite?
That is the first opportunity. We anticipate that we would have contact with both spacecraft at that point, but if that doesn't happen because of any delay in the stability of the spacecraft, then we have another opportunity in another 45 minutes.
What kind of communication are we talking about? Is it just a ping saying, I'm here, I'm alive?
We will actually get a health report from the spacecraft that tells us the power condition, the computer status, the communication condition, pretty much everything that we need to know about the health of the spacecraft at that point.
All right. So how far off are we from main engine cutoff then?
Main engine cutoff occurs in about, looks like in about 9 minutes.
8, 9 minutes. Okay. So we are standing by.
Cook, LOS expected.
Eco.
Nominal parking orbit insertion.
Did we lose the feed from
Are
the launch
we-
vehicle?
So we are looking for second engine cutoff and a signal for second engine cutoff, and that's a critical period because that is when the satellites will be deployed.
Correct. The separation will occur right after main engine cutoff. Right after the main engine cutoff, we will be getting confirmation of separation from the launch vehicle, actually.
So you'll be hearing it from the team?
Correct. That they had successful separation. And then after that, in about 10 seconds, and then after that we will wait for establishing communications over McMurdo.
Will we be able to actually see the satellites deployed?
There's a good view, actually. We're hoping that we'll be able to get a glimpse of the Grace follow-on
Grace
satellite.
payload
beams.
deployed confirmed.
The deployment of the Grace follow-on spacecraft was
Yeah.
deployed. That's confirmed, deployed successfully.
Fantastic.
very
And
excited
you
about that.
see the excitement in the rooms here.
Yes,
We could hear them.
yes.
There they are. That is the EMOC at JPL.
Yeah.
We have folks here in the MDC, here at Vandenberg Air Force Base. So far, so good.
Excellent
Yeah.
performance. Now the second stage of the launch vehicle continues on to deploy the Iridium satellites.
It's got more work to do.
It does, and we wish them the best of luck for that.
All right, deployment of the 5 Iridium satellites.
Excellent partnership.
Vandenberg LOS expected.
So now we have to wait for the satellite, the Grace follow-on spacecraft to stabilize.
Uh-huh.
And I'm getting a message.
Okay. You're getting some communication?
It was another confirmation for the successful deployment.
So we have confirmation that both Grace satellites have indeed been
Correct.
deployed.
Both Grace follow-on satellites or spacecraft were deployed successfully, and now the spacecraft will be stabilizing in their orbit. They'll be getting away from each other. That's natural movement that we intended for the spacecraft to do. Once the communication is established over McMurdo, we will know exactly what altitude they're in and what additional adjustments may need to take place. However, the spacecraft, in the mode that they come on, once they're released, they're in the safe mode, so the solar arrays face the sun, and the antenna faces Earth.
Okay. All right. So things are looking good.
Things are looking excellent.
Okay.
Throughout this period, we will have checkout of the spacecraft. So we'll go through internal checks on the spacecraft, and then once communication is established, we'll go through extensive checkout for the spacecraft, the conditioning and preparation for start of the